Thank you. Yeah. Hey, Stephen, first, with the at-bat the story, I mean, he's fouled off. He obviously has a pedigree for the short amount of time he's been a big leaguer, but what went on with, with the sequencing of that about being ahead, and then he obviously hits a home run?
Yeah, you know, we did a really good job of getting ahead. Got to 0-2, and that was almost my kryptonite tonight. You know, I had the 2 walks and the home run from an 0-2 count, and that just can't happen. But that at bat, we got to the point where we knew we had him swinging, and so the point was to throw a slider down in the dirt, and I threw it right down the middle. And he's a guy that's gonna hit that. So as soon as it was out of my hand, it's pretty much one of those. Well, I just hope that he, you know, doesn't hit me, kind of thing. So not great, but it's gonna happen.
Does it? How much does weather affect command on a night like tonight?
I mean, it doesn't help. You know, I think overall, I didn't quite get the bite on my slider tonight that I usually do. Other than that, I don't like using excuses like the weather, something that's out, because everybody's dealing with it, you know. So you know, it's just one of those things where it doesn't help you, so you have to be able to overcome that. And tonight, you know, I made some mistakes, and I was glad that I could go 6, you know, in the situation, but just not good enough.
What do you think was the challenge? Maybe putting guys away?
Yeah, you know, like you said, the bite on the slider wasn't there, so when I tried to go with that with 2 strikes, I you know, getting a lot of foul balls or takes, and then on the fastballs, a lot of foul balls with 2 strikes on the fastball, and that's usually my go-to pitch. So just, you know, one of those nights. They did a really good job. One of those things where they didn't strike out. I mean, even Glasnow only struck out one of them, you know, right? And he's the best at it. So I think they just did a really good job putting the bats together tonight, and it's going to happen sometimes.
How good is their lineup?
It's really good. You know, even without Nolan Arenado, it's just a lineup that everybody that comes up, you know, like you said, has a pedigree, something that they're all ready to come up and hit. And it's fun to face lineups like that, you know, especially when you're young and you're new like I am. Kind of when you're pitching, you know, down the lower levels and you make some mistakes and you get away with it, you know, and then you come up to the big leagues and you face a lineup like this, and when you make mistakes, they punish you for it, and it definitely makes you learn, you know, and it helps get you better, I think. So I'll take that. But yeah, really good lineup, really good.
You learn something different every time out, Stephen?
Yeah, I do. You know, tonight is a funny one because, you know, usually, you know, my whole goal is to get ahead, 0-2, you know, and attack. And tonight, I was able to do that better than I've been able to do that, you know, this season so far especially, and it didn't go my way, and that's kind of funny. And so, I think going into my next start, you know, there's always something to build on for me. That's going to be, you know, being able to put the hitters away. It doesn't necessarily mean strikeouts. It just means getting weak contact quicker.
You're not, in this era of advanced shifting, I don't think anybody's going to blame you for letting a ball that's going up the middle, letting it go behind you, just given the way infielders are shifted against guys. I mean, how quick do you have to react and make a decision? I mean, but what's the process like once a ball leaves his bat? Yeah,
you know, that was a bummer, because that's one of those, I've had a lot of plays in my coming up where I've always been very aggressive going to get the ball. You know, it helps me. I've always felt confident as a fielder. And something I've been working on is when a bouncer is going up the middle like that, it's much easier for them to just grab it, tag on second, and go to first. And you know, I swear I looked back and Jordy was right behind second. It's something I must have just blanked or something. And so when that ball was hit, and I decided to bring the glove back, and then I looked back and we weren't there, and I was like, that is a super bummer. But then, like, you know, the problem is that then I get 0-2 on the next guy and then give up a home run. So they just got to be better.
I know you didn't grow up there, but is it cool playing the team where you went to college and facing them?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Spent a lot of time in that area?
Yeah, the funny thing is a lot of those guys were playing when I was there, you know. So yeah, it's really cool. It's one of those kind of surreal things, especially playing in the snow, you know, because I went and watched a few Denver games in the snow when I was in college, so now we're doing it in Pittsburgh, which is garbage, but, you know, whatever.